uh, one thing that came to my mind is you asked me what things did help get me to the point of leaving the LDS Church.
Yeah.
Well, one thing is, I remembered that I got a business food order from the bishop, and he's like, "Oh, you need to work off," and it was like this extravagant amount of like 2,000 or something hours of you need to go to the business storehouse and work off that business food order. Now, before that week in elders quorum or Sunday school, we were taught, you know, grace. We were taught, oh, we're supposed to have grace. We're supposed to have charity, and we're supposed to have, charity is giving without receiving anything back. And when I got my business food order, the business said, now you need to work off these hours. And I obviously could, because of my disabilities, I couldn't work all of those hours off. And a lot of the jobs at the business storehouse, you have to be fully able-bodied. You have to have,
Yeah.
there's very few jobs you can do if you're legally blind and you're in a wheelchair and you have, X, Y, and Z. Well, I remembered that when I went back in for another business food order, the bishop, he slammed a contract on the table, and he's like, you're stealing from the rest of the people that pay tithing and fast offerings and in the ward that work hard for that money. They pay that money to the church because they have faith. You're stealing from them. Now, if I give you another business food order, you actually need to sign this contract saying you will work X, Y, and Z hours, and you will do it, and you'll do it in a timely manner. And
Well, that sounds kind of familiar.
And now, and then
Something about tying heavy loads on the backs.
And
yeah.
Then,
and not lifting a finger.
And then the other thing is, when I needed help, when I needed help because my chair was broken down, and the ward I lived in. See, I used to go to a young adult singles ward a long time ago, the age 18 to 30, and when I was in that ward, they actually had a group of people that if I needed any help, I could call on those people, and they would help me with anything, whether it was getting to and from church, or whether it was, it was up at the University of Utah. And I had, obviously in the young adult singles ward, you have a very good, support group. There's a lot of people. I had a list of names and numbers, but once I turned 31, it was basically you're out and you only had two choices. Go to a home ward. That the home ward I had lived in, everyone was, anyone that was single was under the age of 18. You can't touch them. It's a totally different world on that. Anyone that was my age was married and had their own family, which was a group of those people under 18. Anyone that was, or else most of the people in the ward were older people, 65, 70, 80 years old.
Yeah.
So none of them could help me if I needed help, So when my chair broke down, I talked to the bishop, I talked to the first counselor, the second counselor, and they're like, oh, there's no one that can help get your wheelchair down to the shop, and they can grab a chair from the wheelchair shop that they're going to loan to you. We don't have time to do that. You'll just have to miss your appointments that you've waited for months to, that you've had. You're going to have to wait for those doctor's appointments. Sorry. The Lord will take care of you. Well,
be warmed and be filled.
I finally got.
I like that. Go in peace.
I finally was able to get someone in my family to come and help me, but basically, and I got that part taken care of, but instead of them saying, hey, we're gonna go to the state presidency and see if there's someone in the state that could help you. They, they have this, chain of responsibilities. But kind of going back to the single award deal, when I left earlier before, when I tried to go to the young adult, the 31 to 45 adult singles award, I went to that, and one day I ran all my battery car and my share out just to get up there because it was not on a bus route. It was uphill, it was far away. By the time I got there, I asked the bishop, what can I do to be part of this award? I'm 31 now.
Mm-hmm.
And the bishop said, well, in order to be part of the 31 to 45 adult singles awards, you have to, and there's a whole laundry list of things. You had to have a full temple recommend to go to this award. You had to have
oh, really? That's interesting.
You had to be, worthy to go to the temple and all that.
Yeah.
You had to have a job, and you had to have a job that paid you at least a minimum of 3 times whatever minimum wage is. You can't ride in the vehicle with the opposite sex. You have to be able to get yourself to and from church on your own in all activities. And in this area, it was the Monument Park 19th Ward that is the one that did that. And basically, when I looked at the cars in the parking lot, there's a lot of cars where, there were expensive cars where daddy probably bought the car for their kids,
Yeah.
and, wire wheels, it's in a rich area. And, there was just a whole laundry list of rules. You've got to do this, you've got to do that. And when I told my mom about it, she's like, it doesn't look like Jesus was at that church.
Yeah. Well, that's probably a safe bet.
And, I've just noticed that, it seems like with the LDS church, if they like you, they take care of you, they'll, you'll get everything you need.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't like you, you don't mean anything.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that's, it's just, I just,
Dog meat Mormon.
I'm glad I'm
I like that one. DMM, DM squared. I got to grab my coat. I'm getting a little chilly here. Oh, actually, I could put on my pseudo raincoat. This will keep me warm.
Bunny ears. Keep your ears warm.
Yeah, bunny ears. So, Adam, where do you live?
I live downtown Salt Lake here.
Mm-hmm. You're a local yokel.
Yep.
Hey, have you ever heard of the Mormon-Dixon line, or the Mormon-Dixon line here? Okay, just wondering if you had.
Mormon-Dixon line.
I was told there's a Mormon-Dixon line south of here. That the Mormons are on one side and the Gentiles more or less are on the other side. I don't know if it's true, but that's what Robert Verdon says.
It's gotta be true.
Well, yeah, it's got to be true. Hey!
Sorry, my friend.
Good to see you.
Yeah, you too. I'm moving home to Florida, so this will probably
You
be
are?
the last time.
Okay, well,
So,
hey, you have a good time?
Yeah.
And Hallaker, Mark?
I don't know where he's at.
Yeah, I haven't seen him in a while.
He's moved up with work and he's doing pretty well.
Okay, well, good.
Yeah.
Hey.
I'll tell him I saw you.
Yeah.
So,
All right,
okay.
take care.
Yeah.
Thanks again.
I was curious, I can't remember. Where did you say you live?
I live in Washington. I never told you.
Oh, okay.
But it's no secret. I live in Washington, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you come down here,
I come down here about every spring and fall for a general conference. Yeah.
oh, okay.
Yeah. And this is I've been doing it for 10 years.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah. So I've been a few sessions here. Yeah. So, yeah.
So, with So you basically come down here and just preached?